Hey, welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpey Jr. We talked a little bit earlier in pregame. So, Cardell, we'll start with you and then Ray. How do y'all feel the Wizards fared? I know for one thing, one point you did make, you talked about the pace, and that was clearly evident in this game. We saw that. I mean, that was kind of the theme that I know. I feel like I could say we all walked away looking at that as a big reason. It's why this turned out in Washington's favor, especially considering they got off to that slow start. And it was similar to the last game where it got off slow, except this time was a different result. But we'll talk about the slow starts another time. Your thoughts on that last three quarters?
It wasn't even, the game really turned in the second quarter. Um, like I said, we was talking about pace. They had to play good defense, and they couldn't turn the ball over. And that's the thing. We stated in pregame, the Mavericks had like 16 turnovers in the first game, and they lost to the Spurs. But I felt like the Wizards could do a better job at that. Not like they were a better defensive team, but because of the pace, the hectic style. I felt like we'll get to the Mavericks because the bigs may start off being okay running like that, but as the game go on, they not trying to run like that. Especially dealing with the half court sets, how the offense is spread out, pick and roll sets, how with them trying to defend, it's going to wear them out. And that's what you kind of saw take place, man. And it worked to the Wizards' favor. And then when you play that hectic style, for some reason, I know it sounds crazy, it makes the other team play your style. If you're scoring and putting pressure on them, it makes them play your style. And that's where the turnovers come because they're not playing the style that's best fit for them. They start playing your style. And that's what you kind of saw as the Wizards started scoring. Keyshawn got hot. Trey, the young rookie, he got hot. And they started hitting shots. Meanwhile, that frenetic pace translated to the defense, man. So now they swarming, and Dallas trying to play the same type of style indirectly. They couldn't do it. And that's when you saw them making mistakes, turning the ball over, and the Wizards capitalized off it. I say the second quarter it turned because the Wizards outscored them 30-17 after being down 35-28. But in that corner, Washington's bench, 21 points, 0 for Dallas. They forced 8 turnovers, the Wizards did, and scored 9 points off of Dallas turnovers. Meanwhile, they did not turn the ball over. I mean, they turned the ball over 3 times. I'll tell you that. They turned the ball over 3 times. The only thing Dallas did better than the Wizards as far as scoring, they outscored them 12-10 in paint, and that's only by 2. That's the only margin they won that by. And 10 of the bench, 21 points in the second quarter, Trey. That was Trey, man. So, I mean, we all know him. He's a professional scorer, and that's what it was. We also said if the Wizards keep teams under 40 in the quarter, they got a shot. Now, first quarter, got a little iffy. They got the 35. Then they kind of returned the favor for the next 2 quarters, and then the fourth quarter, all they had to do was just kind of just survive in a sense, man. Don't beat yourself, and they was gonna pull this one out, and which they did, man. Hell of a performance, man. Obviously, we can get this out of the way already. Keyshawn George, the player of the game, we ain't even got to wait on that. 34 career high, 34 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 11 of 15 from the field. Lord Jesus, he was 7 of 9 from deep. 5 of 5. Come on, man. He destroyed them boys. Man. And it wasn't even just that. His defense was on point, man, and guarding multiple positions. And one thing I love about the Wizards this year, when them young boys was hot, Keyshawn and Trey, and this is the influence of having vets, CJ and Chris, they kept feeding them. Normally when young teams, you see a couple young guys that's starting to get hot, young guy, I got to get my shot. No, feed the hot guy. We going to ride this until he cool off. And if he don't cool off, cool. He can carry the offense, and we can focus on other things, and we can get this W. That's all that matters, man. And that's what you saw tonight. They didn't try to force it. CJ got 8 attempts. He was 2 of 4. Middleton, 4 of 13. Saar was 5 of 10. He down there fighting for his life with, Lively, Anthony Davis, and he held his own pretty much. I give him credit, man. He almost had a double-double with 14, 9 and 5, 3 blocks. So he was down there fighting, but the pace got to him and wore him out. And then the bench points. I mean, Washington, 47-28. And I know a big chunk of that comes from Trey, but you can't ignore Marvin Bagley the third did. You can't Corey Kispert, Cam. That's 7 and 8 apiece. Like it was a total team effort, man. They needed it, man. And one thing that didn't compromise was the defense. To bring it home how suffocating their defense was in the second quarter, I really want to. Their defensive rating in that quarter was a 56.9. They held Dallas to 30% shooting in that quarter from the field. 1 of 9, 11% from deep. They couldn't get nothing, man. And I don't care that Kyrie's out or whatnot. You still got Anthony Davis over there. You still got Clay that can bomb away when he get hot. Cooper's talented. PJ and Najee are proven in this league. Those are guys that were playing in the finals a couple years ago. They played in the finals. They got big game experience. And you hold that team to 17 points. That's a testament to let you know, all right, the Wizards can get after it defensively when they want to, man. And if they just stand their ground, and which they did, they stood their ground physically and they're able to pull it out, man. And the rebounding battle, 48. We talked about that pregame. They had to show up on that, and because of the size and the Mavericks were Lively and Anthony Davis, so to tie them, to me, they out rebounded them. That's a win. So, congrats to the Wizards, man. First win of the season, man. And it started with their defense, man, and just playing smart, efficient basketball on offense and keeping their pace up.
Right.
Yeah, it's rare you see the Wizards have the game-defining quarter, but that's exactly what happened in the second. They just took over the game, and recently a very great player had some funny things to say about defense, but like if you strapping like that, your offense gonna come by accident because you getting out, you getting easy baskets, the rim gets bigger, and now you comfortable, and that's exactly what happened, man. They got stops, and they just got into a flow, and it carried over because they kept playing defense. Now, if your defense lapses and you give a chance for the other team to get comfortable, then the game gets interesting again. But they kept their foot on the gas. Wilson, you pointed out pregame, they needed to come out with energy and keep the energy up. They still had a somewhat of a slow start, but once they revved up and got into the flow of the game and started imposing their will and doing the things they wanted to do, it was a wrap. And we seen guys get into their groove and get comfortable, and they pretty much ran away with the game. Once they got control, they never relinquished it. And and that's a solid win for them, man. We talked about the size discrepancy and what they had to do to negate that, and they did it. I'm with you, Cardell. Tying them and rebounding, they won that battle because they were supposed to get out rebounded and dominated in the interior. And 12, 10 points in the paint and evened out on the boards. I live with that. They turned them over and capitalized on the turnovers, and they shot the ball better. That equals a win, man. All you got to do is cover as much bases as you can, and do that every night. And I live with that. You're not gonna win every game. I know that. In some games, it's 82 games of the season. Some days you're just not gonna have it. I get it, but consistent effort is all I ask, and more often than not, you're gonna have a chance. So, yeah, we saw that tonight, and tonight just happened to be one of those games where things went their way. It was lopsided. So yeah, man, they went in there on the road, got their first win of the season, and this is one of those games where you can look back to and say, hey, this is how we need to perform on a nightly basis. So yeah, man, shout out to them. And Keyshawn George, it's only 2 games in, but he coming into his own, and just hope he can keep it up.
Yeah, obviously a good win. Cardell, I think you touched on it earlier, Ray. You just mentioned it. Thought about what they did on the boards. So we're 2 games into the season. You haven't lost on the glass yet. Again, I know small sample size, but this is one of the things we were screaming about for 82 games last year, and this is why we were screaming about it. It matters. It literally matters. And taking care of business on the glass, it lended itself in so many different ways. They're bigs, all 3 of them, and Alex, Vuk, and then Marvin Bagley. Cardell, I think you mentioned talking about how you mentioned the pace in the pregame. That's where the Washington bigs have an advantage against most teams in the league. Yeah, their bigs, they're obviously not blessed with the most mass or anything like that. They can get up and down the floor, man. They can outrun most teams' groups of bigs. Like that's 4 quarters of not only do you got to bang on the glass when the shot goes up, you have to go find them dudes when the Wizards are running. They're not always in the paint. Sometimes they're trailing. Sometimes they're in the corner. You have to go find them. I feel like a couple times a night, I think it was Lively when Bagley was in, just lost track of him. Bagley walked into, I think it was a couple threes. I'm not sure if he had both of them, but walked into wide open threes because Lively's at the rim waiting for him, and he what? That's not where he was going. Washington spacing the floor, doing what it is that they do. You also talked about Sarr. I thought he was a great deterrent tonight. I know it was only 3 blocks. It felt like he bothered many more shots down there tonight. So, yeah, it was just a good win. I missed this earlier. Said I'd get a little bit better at it. But per Sports Radar, Wizards rookie guard Trey Johnson becomes just the 5th rookie in league history to record at least 3+ threes in each of his first 2 career games. So just wanted to share that bit of history. So 2 for 2 so far. I didn't completely forget, but it was a little late. Again, it's 2 games in, the 1-1. The challenge again is the same things we've talked about these first 2 games. That happens. That becomes a normal thing. Where if they lose on the boards, we're surprised by it because it's something that maybe they can count on. I would love for that to be a thing, but we'll see. Only 2 games in. Cardell, you mentioned player of the game for sure already. There's no arguments there. How do you feel about X Factor?
Hey, man, Sugar Trey. Boy, Sugar Trey, man. He professional scorer. He one of them professional scorers. He put the ball in the basket, man. They need that, especially he's basically like, I know it's a small sample size. Let's call it what it is. He's the Wizards microwave. He come in instant offense, and that can turn the game, and that's what happened in the second quarter. Their defense was on point, but they was looking for a little spark offensively. He came in and gave it to them, gave him 10 in that quarter. 7 of 13, 3 of 6 from deep, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and I like the fact that he's giving you a little bit of other stuff too. It's not just scoring, man. So, outside Keyshawn, who was a 14, Trey, he was 3rd. Trey was +7. Keyshawn led the team at +14. CJ was a +10. Trey was a +7. So that tells you he was getting after it defensively as well. It wasn't just on one end of the floor. And that was the thing coming in the draft and through preseason. Will he be able to hold up defensively? And y'all know my motto. Y'all know what I'm saying. If you can move on offense, you can move on defense. It's as simple as that. So it's just a 1-2 at that point, and really being aware. So he's showing he wants to, man, and that's a hell of a weapon to have coming off your bench. The thing is, he got to keep doing it, and we all know it's early. So when the scouting report catches up, will he be able to adapt to what the scouting report's throwing at him? Because right now he's going against other guards and stuff. He might see a wing or big here and there off of switches or something, but it's only 2 games, so it ain't a heavy sample size. But if he keeps it up, we all know what's coming. They're gonna throw them 6'9" freaks in nature at him when he checks in the game to keep him at bay. So he can't provide that spark. So, those 6'9" freaks in nature in the NBA are a lot different than what you see in the SEC for the most part. Even though that was the best college conference, in the country. He kind of got a taste of that preseason with the Raptors. They had to have a whole lot of them. So, but if he keep coming, that's what he's going to see eventually, man. And if he can navigate that, then that means he's good. He's good to go. He can navigate anything.
Right, you have a different candidate for X Factor.
No, I agree with Trey. He came in and got right to it, like Ariel said, and that's going to be needed, and that's helpful in any situation. If the starting lineup is kind of lagging and they need a spark, he can come in, ignite them right away. If they got it going, he can come in and keep it going. So, yeah, I think if he can continue to excel in that role, then that's definitely something to build on for the Wizards.
You guys already said it. Just a nice reminder with Washington's bench tonight. Outscored Dallas's bench 47-28.
Facts. And it's a great point you brought up earlier, Wilson. Before we get out of here, Alex Saar and Bagley, dog rim runs. That's a skill. That's a skill, and you got a bunch of guards and wings that know how to pass, man. That look up. So just running the floor, you're gonna get easy baskets, and they teach you this, man, in camps and lectures, all types of basketball environments, man. Definitely in college, even if you don't get the ball. When you're running straight down the court, you're going to suck the defense in because they see you running ahead of the other bigs. So they're going to, then what's going to be open? People on the wings. You suck the defense into the paint. And now you got all types of advantages. So now they scrambling. You throw it up ahead. So let's say you throw it up ahead of the wing. You can't get it to the big. Now they got to try to come back out and cover you. Now you can go right around them. You can either finish or you got the big down there waiting for the lob, man. So that in itself is a threat, and they got bigs that can do that all day. Even Tristan can do it. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to force opposing teams, opposing bigs to have to run back. Now, obviously, against Milwaukee, they got two bigs that can do it themselves. They can run with you and probably faster, and they got the mass, and they got the experience on them. So that was just one of the matchups. Yeah, it is what it is, man. But at this stage, AD ain't trying to run like that no more. And Derek can run, but I don't know if he can beat them in a foot race, so to speak. So, yeah, that's an advantage. Now, obviously Sunday the next game is against the Hornets. So keep that up. Just keep running rim runs, man. It kills. And it's sad that a lot of coaches at lower levels don't even teach that with bigs. They just try to make them wings, and that's not the case. Everybody can't be a wing, but it's a weapon if you know how to use it, man. Like everybody from all those who've been from Shaq to Dream to Jabbar, Lord knows Russell, Willis Reed, all the great bigs, rim runs. So I love what I'm seeing there, man. And I love the balanced attack, man. And the crazy thing is they still haven't played up to their fullest potential. That's what's encouraging about the Wizards. I'm still waiting to see that both ends play up to their full potential, man, so we can really gauge how good they can be. So, but through two games, you can see it's clear growth, and that's what we wanted to see coming into year two with the young core.
And that's all you can ask for is being able to see glimpses of that growth. And now it's that wonderful C word, finding a way to become some level of consistent. And that's the next step in that. Anytime you talk about a young group, obviously, if you're very talented, everyone can have flashes. Can it be consistent? Being consistent, then it starts leading to wins, and we get to start to talking about other things. But it starts with that first, and we'll see if they can replicate this performance or something to this level come Sunday at their home opener when they host the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll check in with you guys then. Appreciate y'all as always.